fam, it's your girl Leah back again with another video. In today's video, as you can see from the title, it is another crochet hair install video. In today's crochet hair, as you also saw from the title, it is human hair crochet that I spent my own coins on from the company Coily Q. Now, this install video, I'm going to leave a timestamp right here on screen to when I start installing the hair. So if you want to get to that point, get to that point. But I think it's important that I share with you guys the buying experience for sure, because I want you guys fully aware and say, I watched Leah's video. This didn't come on time. This didn't come on time. I want you guys to hear this part if you want to have an understanding of the cost, the buying process, all of that. The natural wave human hair crochet. I have the 4-pack of the Remy hair. Has two different versions. I think there's a virgin and the Remy hair. I have the 18 inches and I have the pre-looped version. So there's a lot of distinctions you got to make when you're ordering. You have to make the length distinction. So they have several. I think it starts at 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. I think it goes that way in terms of length. You have to choose whether you want pre-looped or not pre-looped. The pre-loop has, if you guys can see, like a little thing around it. You see this little thing right here. I'm assuming, I didn't get the non-pre-looped, but I'm assuming that is not on it. All it is it on there pretty tight? You can just pull this down and remove it. I'm assuming it's with it removed. The price didn't change when you change from pre-looped to not pre-looped, but it did change, of course, if you went to length. And then Remy versus, I believe, Virgin. The Remy says it can last up to 1.5 years. I believe the Virgin said it would last 3 years, and the price did change when you went between the two, almost $100 difference. So that's why I went with the Remy, and it's 200 grams of hair, and I got the 4-pack. So you can buy each individually. So you can buy one bundle of this by itself, or you can buy the 4-pack, which I did the 4-pack, and that gives you 130 pieces of hair. I think it says online, I think it's a bang for your buck thing. I think you get 30 pieces if you buy 1-pack. If you buy 4 packs, that bundle, you get 130 pieces of hair. Now the hair comes in a natural black color. So of course I dyed it. I needed to match my hair because I was going to leave a little hair out. So I dyed this hair to match my natural color. It is one box of the 4RC Cherrywood color by Clairol. That's what I use to dye my own hair. I do dye my own hair. So I use that. But when I normally have to dye bundles, I do need to add a developer. I don't add a developer. I just use the box when I color my own hair. So I use a 40 level developer. And this time I did have to add a little bit of bleach to it. So one of those Clairol bleach packs to it to get it to achieve this color. So I'll insert on screen, if I was inserting on screen as I was talking, the coloring process for this. So I did need to color it. I didn't have to kind of do it twice. So it took color really well. I just had to do 2 processes, which is kind of normal with human hair for me. Now, again, I said I spent my own coin. I wanted to give you guys a solid impression of this because I know this hair was on the market and talked about a couple of months ago. I think India Aja and Mary Bella, 2 incredible creators on here, did sponsored content from them. And you guys were like hounding me like, you should do a review, or have you heard of Coily Q? And I was like, I know why y'all are asking me this. You saw the other video, you came to my channel. They ain't reach out to me to send me no hair. But again, I am no stranger to buying hair too. I had a hair closet at one point. I buy a lot of hair, so I wouldn't mind buying the hair. I just was waiting for a sale. Okay, had to wait for a sale, and Black Friday they had that sale. They had 30% off their hair. 30% off of a human hair I was ready for. So I bought this hair with the 30% off. It came to $336. Again, that's 18 inch. Would have been cheaper if I got a 14 inch. So $336 for 4 bundles. I felt relatively fine because, again, I wanted to try human hair this year. If you've been watching my videos, I've been sprinkling in, letting you guys know it's the year of human hair for me. I wanted to do bundles and a sew-in this year. And you know how much a bundles and sew-ins combination would cost. I think $336 is an appropriate cost for this. But again, I don't know how I would have felt if it wasn't on sale. I think without that 30% off, it probably been closer to $500 something dollars. In terms of shipping, I bought this hair on Black Friday. Again, it was a Black Friday sale. Black Friday was on November 24th, Friday, November 24th. I got this hair, got delivered to me. I knew it was going to take a minute now. Let me preface. I knew it was going to take a minute. I got this hair December 27th. So that's a month and 3 days from the ordering date. Now, when you purchase this, you have to check a box that says, I am understanding that it is going to be at least, I think it says 10 days of processing. You check it before you even, after you get done selecting all your preferences, 18 inches, Remy, whatever, you have to check a box before you can add to cart that says, I understand that it'll take 10 days of processing. I was cool with that, 10 business days. I did the calculation. I guess it was about 14 business days before I got the tracking number. So I got the tracking number, I believe it was like the 13th of December. And so that's when it said ready. And then it sat at label created for another week. So it said in label created till the 20th. And then it got shipped and then it got to me on the 27th. So understanding, I want you guys to have all the details because y'all not gonna come on my video and being like, I ordered it and it took 2 months or 3 months to get to me. Trust me, I understand that as well. It took a long time. Again, I buy stuff under my own name, not Lia Lavon, not coming to you as a creator. I'm coming to you as a buyer of this hair to give you an install and review of this hair. Now today is just the install. Later we're having the review. Future me will know how I feel about this hair, but current me will be installing this hair. So without further ado, we're going to be installing this natural wave 18-inch Remy hair from Coily. As per usual, my mother did my braid down. She did 9 braids all going straight back, but I told her I wanted a little bit of leave out because I wanted to feel like I had a partial sew-in. So she left out my left side because I do part my hair on my left side, but it's 9 braids going straight back, coalescing into my normal little bun in the back. It's not as big as it looks on camera, you guys. It's just a normal size bun. My hair is fairly long, so we're not dealing with professionals over here, but she does a great job. So getting into this hair itself, like I said, this is just one strand of what the 130 other strands look like. But to install, I started installing like I normally do, which is pushing the crochet needle through my braid, attaching the hair, pulling the hair through the little loop. And what makes this super easy is that you can just move that lever up and click it in place, and really that holds the loop. It's really simple. I do kind of like that aspect of it. But what I realized after going through this is a hair where you are going to want to push the crochet needle under your braid. So instead of going through, going under the braid. Now, some of you guys ask me in so many of my videos, are you pushing through the braid? Are you pushing under? Most of the time I'm doing either, but most of the time it's really through the braid. This is a hair where I needed to switch my format because that knot, that little loop is kind of chunky. And so it makes it hard to kind of go through the hair, but it's easier when you go under the braid, if that makes sense. So this is a hair where you're going to want to install under if you do get the pre-looped version. Now I can't speak to if you get the non-pre-looped, but having the pre-loop, this was my experience. Again, another closer look at me going under the braid, but I also wanted to note this is not a double knotting situation. All I'm doing is pulling the hair through that loop once because that loop acts as kind of a barrier, as a kind of rubber band, as a kind of stopper from the hair coming loose.
Now that love's taking over, I'm 100% sure that it's here to stay. I ain't got no issues standing in my way. I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. So make it official. We ain't getting no younger, baby. When I'm ready to be with you, yeah, the fuck always. Do not miss to go through sickness and good health. I go crazy, baby. Can you live with it? Loving me for life. To have it home forever. Baby, ride or die.
Now, when I got to the front, I decided let me remove the knot part because I feel like that would be a little too bulky, and it is a little bulky if you apply it to the front part. So if you want your hair to lay flat like I do, I don't think that knot can stay. So I removed it. But if you remove that, you are going to need to knot this hair a couple of times. Like in this video, I might say towards the end, oh, I only single knotted it. Scratch that, honey, because you're not gonna get away with single knotting it. This hair is gonna fall out. Again, that's the thing with human hair. That's probably why the knot's there in the first place, because it's so soft. It is so silky. You are going to run into problems if you do not at least double, triple something knot this hair if you do remove that knot that is there from you. So just be aware of that. You can buy the non-looped version of this, and I think you don't have to worry about removing the knot, but I do think that knot helps in the back. When you get to the front, you probably won't want to have that. It depends. I guess it depends on who's installing it, but I know I didn't want that knot there in the front pieces at all, but you do need to be creative with how many times you knot this hair. And then at the end, I decided to go in and fill in some sparse areas. I was being a little bit lenient with how much I was using originally, because 130 pieces, you don't know how far it's going to go, but I did have plenty left over. So I went back and filled in some spots that I was a little less giving in. So now this is the finished look. Let me do a turnaround so you guys can see how every side of my hair is looking. 18 inches looks like this on me. Again, for reference, I am 5'3", so I have not cut any of this hair. This is it in its full 18 inches of length. Let me lean in. Of course, I have a leave out. I haven't done a thorough investigation, but if I do need to fill in any gaps, I have plenty of hair left. I have this much, and then I think this is a whole bundle, and then this much. So I use practically 3 bundles, and I think I have a pretty full head. Like, I could probably fill in some sparse areas, which again, I'll go back and see if I have some. I know I probably have a little bit right in here that I can fill in, but I think this is all I'll be using, and I'll have a whole bundle left over. So I was a little nervous about the hair. 130 pieces is a lot, considering the last hair I tried, that Afri Naturel Soft Tex hair. I used 60 pieces of that hair. Each pack had, what, 20 pieces, 60 pieces, and I was able to do what I could do. Now, again, I did mention in that video, I could have used maybe 15 more pieces of hair, but that still would be, what, 75, maybe even possibly 80, and I had 130 of this, and I left some hair out. So I think 4 bundles, buying the bundle pack, is plenty. I did leave hair out, so you have to think about, if you don't leave hair out, you would need a little bit more than 3. So I think you still be covered with the 4 pack. I think it says somewhere on their site 4 is for natural, get 5 or 6 for a full volume look. And I'm like, and that would entail you having to buy 4 and then buying 2 individuals, because like I said, you can buy this as one, so you can get 1 bundle each. Don't know the price. You can check the site. I linked everything down below. You can get 1, but you can also get the 4 pack. And I think it's cheaper to get the 4 pack than getting 4 individuals. That's probably how the math works out on that. But again, I have the natural wave version on the Coily Q site, though. This isn't the only curl pattern they have. They do have natural volume. They have kinky straight. I think they have one other straight style, and then they have the kinkier coily hair. So they have 3A, 3B, 3C, 4A, 4B, 4C. So they have all the natural textures as well too. So you don't have to get straight. You could get a kinkier straight. 18 inches I think hits me very appropriately. Looks like my hair very well. The install was, I'd say, quick, but also I needed to go and make sure I was covering everything. So it took a little bit longer. It's a little bit later in the day than I expected. I started around 10. It is now 12:30, so I'd say it took me about 2 hours to install. My mother, like I probably said when I was talking, did my braid down. But for me, that 2 hours was just really getting the hang of everything. Again, the hair I bought was the pre-lubed version. You can get it with this removed. I think in a lot of places in the front, I did end up removing it. I even went back to some of the places where I left it on and just removed it because I think it was making this side a little bit too bulky. Like that's good. Having that in is really good in the back where nobody can see, especially if you do not leave any hair out. You're going to want to remove that so that you have this. The other thing is that this is kind of chunky as well. So if you know the last human hair I installed, human hair has the thing where it has to make this area be manipulatable. And I've tried several different hair. I've tried the human hair from Shake and Go where there's that elastic there. I tried the last hair from Wigget where the line was very thin. This is very thick. It's hard and thick up here. Like this part, hard and thick. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me get the sound on there. Hard and thick up here. So you will need to install this under the braid. I have not applied any product. Again, what you're seeing is it installed right from pack or right from box to my head. Of course, I'm going to be wearing this hair, and I spent my own coin on it. I'm going to be wearing it for a while, quite some time. So you're going to get a full, thorough review on this hair, how I interact with it, how I like it, whether I recommend it at full price, on sale, how I recommend you buy it, is that weight that I had for it worth it? You'll know all those details in my full review, and I'll be wearing this hair for quite a few weeks. So make sure you're locked in and subscribed for that, as well as make sure you have that notification bell on so you're notified when that video goes live. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Lia Lavon 89 to catch up with my shenanigans in real time. TikTok at Lia Lavon, which is a few more shenanigans, a bit more real time. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.